In the silent heights of the Andes, where the wind travels like an ancient messenger and the mountains rise like living witnesses of forgotten ages, the Inca people discovered something that modern life keeps trying to remember. The world is not a place to conquer, it is a sacred field where the human spirit is shaped. Long before clocks dictated the rhythm of life, before cities drowned out inner silence, before humanity forgot to breathe with the earth, the Incas built an invisible architecture made not of stone, but of wisdom. 7 spiritual laws, 7 echoes that still vibrate through the Andes. 7 principles that continue to speak to anyone willing to listen with the heart instead of the mind. Sometimes, when a civilization disappears, it leaves behind ruins. But the Incas left more than monuments, they left a spiritual map. A subtle, quiet guidance that still reaches those who seek clarity in a world overwhelmed by noise. And when you listen closely, when you allow the mountains to speak, these laws become more than ideas. They become a mirror, they show you who you are and who you could become. The first whisper is the law of reciprocity, a reminder carved into the soul of the Inca people. They called it Ani, but its meaning is universal. Life returns what you offer. Not as punishment, not as reward, simply as a reflection. The Incas understood that taking without giving creates an invisible weight. Giving without sincerity creates spiritual confusion. But when the heart moves in reciprocity, balanced, honest, intentional, life flows. Modern society teaches the opposite. Take as much as you can. Accumulate, secure, control, yet somehow, the more you take, the emptier you feel. The Incas would simply smile, because they knew the truth. What you give consciously shapes the person you become. Then comes money, the power of pure, deliberate love. Not romantic love, not sentimental love, but the kind of love that reorganizes your inner world. The Incas believed that love was an act of discipline, a deep decision to treat others with respect, clarity, and gentleness. They understood what most people forget: love is not a feeling that visits you. Love is a path that you build. This kind of love asks for intention, for presence, for integrity, and in a world that confuses emotion with purpose, the Incas whisper across centuries: love is not what you feel. Love is what you choose every day. Work, for the Incas, was not a burden. It was Clanque, the law of purposeful action. To them, working was a form of prayer. They didn't believe in just doing. They believed in acting with heart, with clarity, with alignment. They knew that anything done with bitterness poisons the spirit. Anything done with presence strengthens it. Today, many work to survive, to escape bills, to climb ladders that lead to nowhere. But the Incas remind you that when your actions lose meaning, your life loses direction. The quality of your work becomes the quality of your spirit. And suddenly, even the smallest act becomes sacred. Then comes Yoi, the law of wise knowledge. A knowledge not measured by how much you memorize, but by how deeply you transform. The Incas believed that knowledge rejected by the heart is wasted. True wisdom requires humility, stillness, listening. They learned from the wind, from the rivers, from the stars. They learned by watching how nature breathes. And they believed the greatest ignorance was this: to know something but not live according to it. In the modern world, information is everywhere. But wisdom is rare, because wisdom requires something people avoid: silence. A moment where the world stops, so your soul can speak. Pachamama, Mother Earth, was not a symbol for the Incas. She was a living being. Every river had a pulse. Every tree had memory, every mountain had presence. To them, stepping on the land without gratitude was like drinking water without acknowledging the source. Before planting, they asked for permission. After harvesting, they gave thanks. They understood something humanity has dangerously forgotten: a person who disconnects from the earth disconnects from themselves. The Incas lived in partnership with the land, not domination. And when you observe their rituals, you understand why their civilization thrived. They lived in harmony with the life that sustained them. Above them rose the Apus, the sacred mountain spirits. The Incas believed the mountains were guardians that shaped the human character. When life became heavy, when emotions clouded judgment, when confusion entered the heart, they climbed higher and higher, not to escape life, but to gain perspective. Because something extraordinary happens when you stand on a mountain. The problems that once felt enormous suddenly shrink. The heart clears, the breath deepens. The Apus taught them patience, discipline, and inner elevation. When you rise internally, no external storm can break you. To connect with the mountains was to reconnect with the part of yourself that remembers who you truly are. And then, the final law: internal harmony. The Incas knew what modern psychology repeats today: your greatest battles are not outside you, but within you. Anger, jealousy, fear, pride, they are not enemies, but shadows. And shadows only lose power when you bring them into the light. The Incas practiced silence, deep breathing, rituals of cleansing, ceremonies of gratitude. They understood that harmony does not mean perfection. Harmony means returning to your center each time life pulls you away. And when you step back and look at all 7 laws, something remarkable becomes clear. These teachings were never meant to remain in the Andes. They were designed to outlive the empire. to travel beyond stone and time, to reach any human being who chooses a life of purpose, clarity, and inner strength. We live in an era of acceleration, endless notifications, overthinking, constant comparison. People feel alone in crowded rooms. People lose themselves while trying to be seen. Yet across centuries, the Incas whisper a simple truth: when you realign your heart, your life realigns with it. These laws are not philosophy, they are a path. Aini reminds you to give with intention. Mane teaches you to love with purpose. Clanke pushes you to act with integrity. Yori guides you to seek wisdom, not information. Pachamama reconnects you with the life beneath your feet. The Apus lift your perspective beyond your fears. And inner harmony brings you back to your center, again and again. You may live far from the Andes. You may never touch the stones of Cusco. You may never walk the trails that lead to the sacred peaks. But if you carry these laws within you, the spirit of the Incas walks with you. Because in the end, the deepest message of the Inca people is this: a person aligned with the laws of the universe becomes unstoppable. Not because life becomes easier, but because your spirit becomes stronger. And when your spirit becomes stronger, you can face any challenge, walk any path, heal any wound, and rebuild your entire life from the inside out. The empire may have fallen, but the wisdom remains alive, waiting for the moment you decide to awaken it within yourself.